Hey, everybody, it's Dee Dee, and I'm here for Friday Reads Live. It's Friday Reads of 2026. So, I don't see anyone in the house for the moment. We're going to wait for people to come in, but this is where we talk about what we're reading today, Friday, this weekend, and sometimes into the following week. Please feel free to pop in and tell us what you're reading. I know a lot of people like to work and listen. Always nice to have people come and tell us what they're reading and give us some new ideas for reading that we probably have in the chat. So, I say I have three people watching. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Happy New Year. Happy first Friday Reads live of 2026. Hello, DL. How are you? Hello, TM. Happy Friday. Happy New Year to both of you. Yeah, we starting this year. It's starting with a bang. It seems like the days are already going by really fast. I can't believe we're already the end of day of 2026, but here we are. Hello, Amalola. Hello, Latrice. Happy New Year to you both. Happy New Year, all those who are watching us, watching, maybe not commenting, but that's fine. Like I said, feel free to come in and tell us what you're reading at any moment and join in the discussion. So I am going to tell you guys what I'm reading. Hello, Curly Q. How are you? Happy New Year. Happy Friday. All right. So what am I reading? So before I got on, I was reading this right here, which is Palace by Naguib Mahfouz. This is the first book in the trilogy. It's called Palace. I think it's called the Palace Walk trilogy. Oh no, it's called the Cairo trilogy. I think it is. So this is like the second time. Yes, I did a long time ago when I lived in Cairo, and I only got a chance to read this first one. So I'm rereading this again, and I'm reading it with Nicole No Fiction here on YouTube. So we're just getting started in on the first 110 pages, like maybe the first 17 pages of the book. I've read the first 50, and it's good. I gave my foods. What can I say? All right, the next book I'm going to be picking up, I'm probably picking this one up later on tonight. It's called Ferragus, Chef de Devorant, which is by Balzac, and this is in the, I think it's called the 13, the 13 stories, a trilogy within the human comedy that I'm buddy reading with. So we're starting with Ferragus, and we're going to be reading the other two stories as well this month. They actually should be in one book, but this one is a little, and the two are in a book together. So this one isn't excessively long. It's somewhere around 200 pages, something like that. So I will get started with this one tonight. And last but not least, another buddy read I'm doing with Patrice, which is called We Refuse, A Forceful History of Black Resistance by Kelly Carter Jackson. Get that cover. Wow, that cover is dynamite. So I'm gonna be getting started with this on Sunday. We have to check in, and we have to read the preface and the introduction, and then I'll check in with Patrice. So that is everything that your girl is reading. So I have three very different books. So it should be fine. Let's see who else is coming into the chat. I said hello to Curly Q. Welcome, welcome. I see Curly Q said reading book 5 from Richard Osman's Thursday Murder Club series. Okay, very nice. The Impossible Fortune. Okay. Hello, Tracy. Oh, thank you very much. Happy Friday, Happy New Year, and all of that. What's the first book? The first book I mentioned was this one right here, Naguib Mahfouz. Naguib Mahfouz was a great Egyptian writer. So this will be my third book from Naguib, because Naguib Mahfouz he had written a lot of books and a lot of short stories. This is the other novel I read by him. What was that other novel called? Ugh, I can't think of the name. It'll come back to me in a minute. But he often writes about life in Congo, and he does it extremely well. You get a really good sense of the culture and the things that the people go through. I highly recommend him if you haven't read him. Let's see. Curly, you said also reading the Travelers by Regina Porter. I don't think I've heard it. Oh yeah, I have heard of that one. I did not read that one. I think I tried to get it, and it was hard for me to get here that book for some reason. I'm not sure why, so I gave up on it. But I would be happy to hear what you have to say about it. Hello, Alicia. Happy Friday. Happy New Year. So good to see you in here. What are you reading, girl? What are you reading? Um, Michelle says exceeded my okay, it's exceeded my 2025 reading goal. No reading goals for 2026 other than to read something every day. Okay, well that's easy done. Currently reading Before the Streetlights Come On by Ashley Antoinette. Okay. Well, I like the fact that she said no reading goals other than she just reads something every day. I feel like that is the best no nonsense goal making for readers. That could actually really work. Because then you're not worrying about, the kind of books you're reading. You're not worrying about how many of them you've read. You're not worrying about what sex, what race, what ethnicity, and you're not worried about none of that. You just read something every day. I can get down with that. I can really get down with that. All right. You love oh yeah, that cover. Oh yeah, this cover is fire. I know, right? It's fire. We refuse. Okay, now if you don't know who she is, Kelly Carter Jackson, here she is right here. So y'all can get a good look at her right there. So yeah, I'm really excited to pick up this nonfiction. I don't read a lot of nonfiction, but I love reading my nonfiction with Patrice because she gets me on the move with that. Um, okay, no problem, Tracy. Hello, Rosa. Happy New Year. What are you reading? Happy Friday as well. Curly Q said, starting the new year with Storygraph. Lost my Goodreads login stuff, so no time like the present to rebuild the TBR. Look, girl, I'm still gonna try to migrate my Goodreads to Storygraph, but it just never worked for me the two times I tried. I'm gonna try one last time, and if it don't work, oh well. It'll just be separate. I can't really leave Goodreads for the moment, but I am full on in with the Storygraph. I'm on the Plus account. Yeah, I'm full in it. And loving it better now that I'm on the Plus account. Okay. Let's see. Billy says, "Hey, well, happy Friday, happy New Year, happy New Year, happy Friday, Billy. What are you reading? So glad you're here." Curly Q said, "The trial is interesting. It reads like a collection of short stories." Okay. It has mixed reviews, but I'm enjoying it. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna want to know what you think about it when you're done. Hello, Curtis. Happy Friday. Happy New Year. How are you? Happy you back reading. I want to hear all about it. Okay, Dale says she's reading Ken. Oh yeah, by Tayari Jones. Fiction should finish. It's a fiction and should finish today. How long is that book? Is it excessively long or is it just a normal size book? I don't know. I hadn't really looked into the size of that book. Tracy said no reading goals for 2026. I'm just gonna read as usual. Okay, there you go. So you're not putting any like you didn't put a number goal because I know a lot of people. Some people really like putting number goal, and others do not like putting number goals. DL said I want to read that Ashley Antoinette book. Okay, so she's into that. Curly Q said I look forward to having a physical reading journal too. Okay, very nice. You missed that connection. Yeah, I feel like it's a great connection to have with reading. Hello, Raymond. Happy Friday. Happy New Year. What are you reading? Let's see. He's reading the graphic novel Monumental, Oscar Dunn. and his radical fight and reconstruction, Louisiana by Brian Mitchell, Barrington Edwards, and Nick Weldon. Okay, I haven't seen this one. I got. Do you have this on your Do you have this one on your IG feed? I would love to check that one out. Tracy, I got in 64 books for the year, 37 fiction, 27 nonfiction. I in 54. I don't know how many nonfiction. I didn't even count. Yeah, I didn't even count. Curtis had started reading Hours by Philip B. Williams and Frederick Douglass, Prophet of Freedom. David W. Blight. I will start Jubilee by Margaret Walker today. Okay, Hours. I really need to put Hours on my list as one of my long books to read because yeah. Rosa said finishing up Love's Lost Line to Freya Scott. About 20% left. We'll finish up today. It's her memoir, beautiful, beautiful writing, definitely worthy of shelf space. Okay, I hear you. I'm not surprised though, because I love me some Sophronia Scott. She can do no wrong in my book. Which is the ultimate compliment. Yeah, I love her writing. I think her writing is very beautiful, and she's very she really knows how to to drag the reader into the story, and she does it with such finesse. And I love her writing. Amalula said reading 6-4 by Hideo Yaka. I don't know. This is Japanese. Yokoyama, I think is what it is. Stranger Faces by Norwal Serpelli. Oh, okay. She's in Dallas. Ooh, are you going? We'll read a few from the Penguin Book of Japanese Short Stories. Okay, very nice. Yeah, Norwali Serpel is she's great. Hello, readers gotta read. How are you? Happy New Year. Michelle says to DL, it's a good read so far. I'm enjoying it. Okay. Lola said Noel Sarpel will be here to discuss her book on Morrison, where she analyzes the work of Toni Morrison. Okay, very good. Alicia said reading another children's series with my nephew. Oh, that's great. We're reading Kid Lawyer by John Grisham. Okay, I did not. Is this the same John Grisham that does our mystery stories? Because I did not know he was up to that. He is really into it. I was shocked. John Grisham wrote, okay, for children. I did not know either. You taught me something today. I did not know. So let's see. I would like to hear what you have to say about it. Is it, you say your nephew really likes it, so that's our real plus because you know how hard it is to get kids to read. So that's great. Um, Latrice says, I'm currently reading a Malcolm X biography called Dead or Right. Okay, I remember that one by Les and Tamara Payne. Since Raymond is making us read 12 biographies this year. Oh my God. It was so funny because when I saw the post, I said, I looked at the first one and I said, oh my God, where is, K the reader's favorite? And it was on page two. I think it was on page two. Yeah. Um, Frederick Douglass. So I said, oh, okay, maybe I might make an effort for the Frederick Douglass this year. Maybe. I'm thinking about it. Um, yeah, Curly Q says she loves that to Alicia from the Brown Eye Reader, who's reading with her nephew. I think it's fantastic. Tracy says to Amalola, have you read The Furrows by Normal Serpel? She has a new book entitled On Morrison coming. Yeah, that's the one that she's doing the going to the talk for in Texas. Rosa said next up is Blindness by Joe Sling. Yeah, it's dystopian and my first Portuguese writer. Although this is not my favorite genre, I like it so far. It reminds me of a Twilight Zone episode. Okay, I like Twilight Zone though. Let's see. Raymond said to Alicia, I read few of Grisham's Theodore Boone books before I stopped reading Grisham altogether. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm a little said to Tracy. I'll be reading The Furrows later this month. Have only read The Old Drift. I love The Old Drift. I thought it was good. I see the release date of the book, but when I bought the ticket to see her, it comes with a book. Oh, okay. So it must have been hella expensive, that ticket. Uh, Tracy says, I'm a little, I saw what you said about Morrison. Okay, yeah. All right. Raymond is like hands up to the trees for reading a biography. Hello, Tatiana. I'm so glad you're here. Happy New Year. Happy Friday. Hey, pulling on Alba today. I'm driving. Oh, okay, girl. Be careful now. Don't do anything crazy. Just listen. Rosa said, I will be participating in Raymond's suggestion. I may not read 12, but I'll be trying to get more biographies read this year. I know I ain't gonna read 12, but I'm gonna read something. Okay, Curlicue is asking Alicia, how old is your nephew? Um, Raymond is happy. He gives a big old heart to Rosa for that. Jasmine de Senora says, my reading goal is 40 books and my author spotlight is, ooh, Louise Erdrich. I'm scared of Louise Erdrich. I'm just scared of every book I pick up that I'm going to not like a book that she writes. And I have not picked up any books at the moment. I want to read her first five novels, starting with Love Medicine. Good luck with it. Please come back and tell us how it's going. Officer Didi, they complain so much about that challenge. I'm picking out my biography now. What's complaining about the challenge? I think it's a fantastic challenge because I don't think in all the years I've been on BookTube, I have heard anybody talking about doing no biography challenge. I ain't had never heard that before. So big ups to you, Raymond, for coming up with it. I think it's a fantastic idea. There's so many great biographies out there, and biographies aren't they're not always excessively long either, so there's a wide range of biographies you could pick from. Now I don't know who's complaining. I missed that, but I ain't online a lot, so yeah, I ain't here about to complain. um yeah. Tracy said, I love the fact that 29% of the biographies that are on Raymond's challenge to read this year are written by Black authors. Yes, of course. We love that. Love that. Alicia said to Raymond, I stopped reading Grisham too until the nephew wanted to try these. Oh boy. You are a good auntie, Alicia. Family and Book said hi, Didi, in chat. Just popping in to hug on like, but oh, thanks so much. Appreciate that. Alicia said Curly Q, he is 10 going on 30. He thinks he's, oh no, that's so funny. That is hilarious. Curly Q said, I tried to read a Louise Erdrich and I ended up DNFing it. That's why I'm scared because Louise Erdrich be getting some varied responses to her book. And I ain't found nobody who's like, yay, I love it. So I've just been kind of distant with it for the moment. Latrice say it's different. Curly Q said, so cute to Alicia. Tatiana said, I may get to the Black Count this year. That'll be one. Oh, the Black Count is so good. That is fire. Maybe the only one. Well, if it's the only one, it's a good one. It's a 5 star. You're gonna love that one. It's real good. Um, Amalula says I'm going to try the challenge too, but it has to be what's on my. Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be what's my. Ain't no way I ain't buying no biography this year. No. Mm-mm. I doubt I have 12 though. I think I might have 12. I think I might have 12. Hello, Alba. Feliz Año Nuevo, everyone. I was folding grandson's clothes before he goes back to college. Oh, it's time to go back to school. Let's see. Raymond says, I get that. All the biographies I plan on reading are on my shelf too. Curtis said to Raymond, "Hey Raymond, I didn't realize that you started a biography reading challenge. Reading biographies are part of my daily reading, so I am in it already. Yeah, so that's cool." Latrice says, "I'm using Libby for mine. I've read most of my biographies on my shelves already." Okay, so from the ones you read on your shelves, Latrice, can you recommend any? Just so the people out there who don't really know what they want to read get a sense of some good things to read. Recommend us some that you already read that are on your shelves. Tracy said, "I'm so glad that Raymond is spotlighting like historians slash authors. I'm super excited." I mean, I can think, I mean, I don't know, like, have I read, think of biographies that I have read. I gotta, wait, let's see. Big ups to Curtis from Raymond. Tatiana said, "I have Patrick Stewart's autobiography won't count, but it's nonfiction." It counts. Why won't it count? It counts. You read, I mean, I guess you could count an autobiography as well. Amalola said, "How do I distinguish between biography versus memoir versus?" Okay, well, biography is somebody else writing about that famous person, so that's easy. Um, an autobiography is when the person is writing about their lives and they're writing, it's very factual, um, kind of organized account of their life from like birth to death. Whereas a memoir does not necessarily cover their entire life. It's them writing about their lives, but it can be them writing about one portion of their life, or one, if they maybe they're writing about a job that, so for example, like when um, somebody, a president writes about when they were president, the, the specific 4 years they were president, or if it's somebody who's writing about, and that person doesn't have to be known or famous. It can be someone who is unknown, and they're writing about something, event that happened to them that was crucial to them. Is more like a memoir. So, I mean, you know, I guess a memoir could be kind of technical, but I guess it can count. I don't know, Raymond. What do you say? Do memoirs count too? I don't know. Let me see. Where did I leave off? Oh yeah, okay. Albert says to Rosa, "Rosa, hope you like blindness. It made me want to read all of his books. Love Saramago." Okay, so that is definitely when Alba says she like it, it's good. It's good, girl. If she like. Latrice said, I'd have to think because I'm. Oh, you're laying on your girl. You're laying on your couch. Well, then get your computer open and look on your freaking story graph or something. Um, Tatiana said, biography is not written by the subject. Exactly, it's not written by the subject. It's written by somebody else. Um, let's see. Rosa said to Alba, "I'm looking forward to more of his work." Tracy said biography is written by someone else. Memoir and autobiographies yeah, okay, I said all that. Okay. Alba says to Raymond, "I'm in, have quite a few biographies on my TR, like Mandela, Nelson and Winnie. Yeah, I know I probably could get 12, I think." Raymond said, "I'm not counting memoirs, autobiography." Okay, no memoirs, no autobiographies. That's that's clear. Okay, so Bucket, only biographies. Try some people have complained about. Oh, they complain because you're not including memoirs or autobiographies. Okay, oh well. Um, Tatiana said, they'll deal, Raymond. Rosa said, biographies tend to be more objective. I like this idea. Well, yeah, objective and they're more thorough. Sometimes they're more thorough. So I ain't mad at it. I think it's fine. It's true that when people start to lean towards memoirs, it starts to be a little less, yeah, a little less thorough. Like when you read a biography, it's really that thorough thing. You get that person from when they're young all the way up through to when they die or when they're finished, whatever. So yeah, I see why you made it like that. I ain't mad at it. It's fine. Curtin said that they can create their own challenge. What the heck? Laugh out loud. Tracy said exactly, Raymond. You did include those because it's a biography challenge. Exactly. Laugh out loud. I'm gonna listen. Laugh out loud. Raymond. See, this is why I asked for clarification. You're strict. Raymond said, folks spend years writing biographies and folks be lying in their memoirs. I didn't want to say that, but now you didn't say it, Raymond. Because that's why memoirs, they have a tendency to be a little bit, even the writing style in the memoir is not the same as the writing style in the biography. They're totally different. Um, Tatiana said that part, Curly, laugh out loud. He's right. Yeah, he's right. So I'll bet you I know who was complaining about the memoirs. I'll bet you I can guess who that was complaining. Albert said to Tatiana, I hope you're not still driving. Oh my God. Girl, I hope not either. Rosa said 100, 100, 100, Raymond. Lola said, start small with Barracoon. Yeah, I read Barracoon, but I did not like it. Barracoon is weird, the way they put that together. Mm. But it's a short one for sure. Um, I read one. Let me see. Biography. When was the last time I read a biography? Damn. I think it's been a while since I've read biography. Um, the best memoirs you read was Bits and Pieces. Yeah, that one was very good. My mother, my brother, and me by Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, that one is really good. I mean, you don't even need to get the book; just get the audio. Whoopi Goldberg reads it, and it is done so well. It's done really well. That one. Okay. Raymond said that Barracoon is a good pick. Amaloa said it's on my shelves along with King and Freddie. Okay. I think King was the last biography that I read. I don't think I read any other biography since King. When did we do King? That when it came out was that 2 years ago. We did that buddy read with Raymond, and yeah, I think it was two. That's the last biography I think I read. I don't want to be reading biographies like that. This will be good. I'll get some of them off my shelf. I know I got 12. Oh yeah, I did read Paul Lawrence Dunbar. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was good. Although he was crazy. I'm just saying. Beautiful, beautiful poems and writing, but damn, he was crazy. On the crazy side. So yeah, that was the last one I read. But that was the biography was done really well. It was very thorough and it contained a lot of his writing. You could really see what his writing was like. If you're not familiar with writing, you could really get familiar with it by reading that biography. It was done really, really well. But damn, Paul Laurence Dunbar was woo, crazy, crazy, crazy. Um, I think the last one I read before Paul Laurence Dunbar, which was at the beginning of I think this year. I think the one that I read before was King. Yeah. Curly Q said the last biography she read was King. DL said King was good. Yeah, it was real good. Curly Q said that was a great buddy read. It was. Hey Kay. She said, "Oh yeah, it's Friday. Hey Kay, happy Friday, happy New Year." We're over here discussing um, Raymond's challenge to read 12 biographies. And so we're kind of discussing like, what we, the last time we read a biography, and then like, okay, what could we read? And what do people recommend? That kind of thing. And yes, I did bring up your man Frederick. Rosa said, last biography I read was James Baldwin by David Leaning. It was very thorough, so glad I read it. Okay. Curly Q said no from because it feels like Monday in the worst way. Okay. I'm not sure why, but okay. Nobody is gonna no. Kay said nobody is gonna read that Freddie book. I'm gonna read that Freddie book. Um, Alba said sometimes biographies make me dislike the subject, like Dickens, Dr. Seuss, and some of our freaking forefathers. I know, girl. I know where you're coming from. But you kind of go in it and you already know they messed up, and then you get a better idea. But I was taken off guard. I didn't realize Paul Laurence Dunbar was that messed up. I did not know. Latrice said, "Yeah, I read that one too, Rosa. Oh, for real, yeah." Raymond said, "I did bios in 2025. One on Samuel Ringgold Ward, Octavia Butler, and Robert Smalls. How was the one on Octavia Butler? Because I saw that one a lot everywhere last year, but I don't think I saw one like bona fide review. I saw that a lot of people were reading it. Tracy said, yes, this challenge by Raymond is so important because it's highlighting Black historians. Yeah. I'm a little to decay. I am. It's on my shelf. It's the same. I'm a Lola. It's on my shelf too. That's why I might actually try to read it this year. There might be the reason I need to pull it off the shelf and start to read it. So I don't know. It might happen. Um, I'm a little said, oh, is it biographies by Black historians? Raymond said the Octavia Butler bio was great, positive. Ooh, it jumped up there. Positive obsession is tight. Yes, okay. Rosa said, I have Richard Wright, Demonic Genius by Margaret Walker on my shelf. It has been there forever. This is the year. Thanks, Raymond. I'm saying, back to drawing board. King is out then. No, I don't think it's just black writers. Is it, Raymond? I mean, is it? Or is it, it can be from anybody? Let us know. I thought it was from anybody. Let's see. Tracy said, I'm giving major kudos to Raymond for featuring the black authors writing for black stories. Uh, P.S. Beloved Greetings. I'm finishing Bloodchild and Other Stories by Octavia Butler, starting The Gospel According to the New World by Maurice Condé. Well done. Ooh, Maurice Condé. Um, Curtis says, Dee, I am ready. The Frederick Douglass biography. I'm reading. I guess you said you're reading the Frederick Douglass biography now, but I decided to immerse read it, and it's working for me. Plus, I decided to only read it on my off days from work this month to finish it. So, how long have you been reading it? So, are you telling me you've been reading it for 2 months, or is it 1 month, one full month? Let's see. Raymond said, Damala, you can read whoever you like as long as it's a biography. That's what I thought. Okay. Kay said, I'm not doing that challenge. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Amalota gives you the thumbs up. Raymond said it can be written by anybody. Got it. That's clear. It's written by anybody. Amalola is laughing at Kay the Reader. Tracy said the biographies Raymond has chosen to read this year are 99% Black authors. Uh, Curly Q said is laughing at Kay. Raymond said, Kay the Reader, we know Kay. And he's rolling his eyes. We know, Kay. We know you're not doing it. So this should be interesting. Let's check back in 3 months and see what people have read from, what biographies people have read. So I'm gonna check back at the end of March, the last Friday reads in March. I'm marking down in my calendar so I won't forget, so that we can come back and tell people what books, what biographies we've read, what was good, what was not so good, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so Curly Q is laughing at Raymond to Kay. Curtis said to me, just started yesterday since it was New Year's Day and I was off from work. Okay, so you're basically gonna take a month to read it, which makes sense because the book is massive, and it's not only massive, but it's tight. Those words are tight on the page, yeah, it's tight. So that's gonna be interesting. Um, Kay said Raymond is my best friend, so he knows non-fic ain't my thing. Okay, girl. Curly Q said "Oh, something. Let me look for Raymond's list and what I can do. Okay, now keep in mind, Raymond's list is Raymond's list, but you probably got something on your shelf, so you need to go look there too. Don't just get caught up on Raymond's list now because you're going to have him buy a bunch of books. Mila, hey, happy Friday, happy New Year. Mila says I need more than a month to finish a biography. Well, it depends now. Come on now, girl. It depends. All biographies are not, 50 million pages and, real tight thing on the page. There are biographies that are not as long, um, that you could probably, pick up at your local library or something. So I would say don't be too negative and start thinking about the longest, biggest ones, that you've heard of or that or that think about the ones that are like normal size, like 400 pages. Okay, realistically, they're probably the shortest is probably around 400 pages. But still, 400 is very different from reading 600 or 700 pages. So, think about it like that. Curly Q said, nah, I do not have bios on my show. Oh, you don't have any bios? Okay. The library is my first stop always. Okay. Well, there you go. You're going to be at your local library trying to figure out what you want to read. It said our short biographies too, less than 200, 300. I don't know a lot of them though, Raymond. You don't have to read tomes. No, you don't have to read tomes, but a lot of good ones are 700 pages. The ones that are 300 pages, I don't know if there's that many, but I know there are some. But I know I ain't got none that 300 pages on my shelves. Biographies, nah, I don't know. I don't know about that, but suggest us some, Raymond, that are 300 pages because that might help us out. Hey Birdie, how are you? Happy Friday, Happy New Year. Let's see. Berta says, I am reading The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year, the second book in the Percy Jackson series, and Boomtown by Nick Stone. Ooh, okay. Bertie said, I really enjoyed Vagabond, a memoir by Tim Curry, when I read it in November. Okay, so that's interesting. Except for Raymond's challenge, no memoirs and no autobiographies. Just in case you're gonna do it. Mm. So I'm gonna have to get on the shelves and look and see what I've got. I know I must have at least five biographies. I could actually count. Let's see. Raymond said there is starting to be a shift to short biographies. Okay, now that's interesting. Yale University Press has a couple of biography series with most short books. Okay, well that's good to know because I feel like that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people don't read biographies is because they happen to be very huge books. So I feel like if you're going to read a biography, it's because it's somebody that you really are interested in. And then I know a lot of people are doing they do the one where they read all of the biographies from the presidents, American presidents. But some of these books are massive, massive. So yeah, and like that's one of the main reasons why people don't read a lot of biographies. Too damn long. Um, See, and Bertie says she has a few presidential biographies. Which ones do you have, Bertie? I'd just be interested to know. So, if y'all need to know if the book counts, y'all need to DM Raymond to find out. But stay away from the autobiographies, stay away from the memoirs. Look for something, try to look for something on your shelves if you have that possibility. If you know you don't have any, then go to your library just so that you can, like if for some reason you pick out something, you're not really loving it, you don't feel bad because you did not spend the money on it. Okay, so Kay said, I'm happy to see folks supporting Raymond. I am too. Brady said, I have a few biographies. Okay, I have one on John Adams. I knew you were going to say that because I've seen that John Adams one around on IG. By David McCullough, and I believe I have one on Jimmy Carter. Oh, that would be kind of good to read the one on Jimmy Carter because, um, yeah, he would be interesting to read about. Um, so does Barack's memoir count? I know. Now he's got two though. So he's got the one with it called Dreams from My Father. That feels like a memoir, so that's not gonna count. But then he has the one that he just put out that's on his first 4 years of presidency. Does that count? Let me know. Okay, Raymond said to Mila, David Blight is the main one at the moment. There are older bios about Freddie. Another notable one is Frederick Douglass by Benjamin Corliss or Corliss, but it came out in 1948. Ooh, that's old. Yeah. So is Promise? I think it's Promise a Promised Land. Isn't that what Obama's book on his first 4 years of presidency? Does that count as a biography? How does that count? I'm not sure. Mila gives a big thank you to Raymond. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I'll say it's considered a presidential memoir. Okay, so that doesn't count. I'm trying to think. Now I do have. I saw you had in your. Let me see if I can find it in your post, and I think I have that one, which is on. What is her name? Yeah, I was. Wait, here it is, right here. Oh, but I don't have that one. It's on Ida B. Wells. I have I think it's a biography, but it's a Penguin edition on Ida B. Wells. I don't remember who wrote it. Okay, wait. Curtis said to Bertie, I read the Jimmy Carter biography a couple of years ago by Jonathan Alter, and it was really good. Okay, that's interesting. Raymond said there's a Barack Obama presidential biography that came out a few years ago that I just found out about. Okay, let us know what that is. Um, I'd have to find the one on Ida B. Wells, but I think that was camp that I have. Um, mm, let's see. Bertie said, I'm definitely planning on reading the Jimmy Carter one this year. He's always fascinated me. Yeah, he was pretty interesting president. Is it this one, the one that you have in your thing, The Bridge, The Life and Rise of Barack Obama by David Rennick? Is that what it is? That's the one that you have in your post. The Black President, Hope and Fury in the Age of Obama by Claude A. Clegg the third. Okay, I hadn't heard of that one. Okay. Wait a second. Let me get my paper out again. Ugh, gotta have like a special paper for this hour because I'm coming up with the stuff. Wait, let's see. Claude A. Clegg the third. Okay. Alba says through my shelves right now and making the biography challenge TV. I'm excited. Rosa said Ida, A Sword Among Lions by Paul Lug Giddings is really good about Ida Wells. Raymond said, I haven't read The Black President, but I did read The Bridge. That's the one that you have in your post, I think, The Bridge. Latrice said, thankfully the chat saves on these posts too, by the way. Yeah, yeah, the whole point. They say, so anybody, you just go back in the chat and, you know, write, the post it, write the titles if you're not able to write them right away. Um, Raymond said to Rosa, I'm planning on reading Ida this year. Okay. Um, okay, Latrice, she's adding the Ida Wells one too. Wait, let me see. Okay, let's see. Uh, okay, Curly Q said, I'm never ever able to bring up the chat from a live. Huh? How is that? Why are you not able to bring up the chat from a live? Normally the chat saves with live. So that's very odd. Um, that's very strange. That's not normal. Yeah, I know that's what you mean after it's over, but it's not normal. Usually when lives are saved, on StreamYard. It saves the visuals, but it saves everything that's in the chat as well. It's not normal that it doesn't save. There's something wrong there. I don't know what it is. I mean, I have to think about it. It could be, but there's something that's not right there because it's not normal that it doesn't save. It's supposed to save. Do other people have problems with seeing the chat that don't have the chat saved once the it's put up for record after? Because that's very out of the ordinary. Yeah, I mean it's usually there. Um, if it's not there, that's very strange. Um, Let me just check this one thing. Okay, so the big question of it's not really a question, but it's discussion for today was your reading habits. Now that we're at the beginning of the year, we're all making these big plans of all the things we're gonna read and all that. Um, but what are your reading habits? So right now what are you doing? Are you reading more than one book at a time or do you read just one book at a time? um are you planning what you want to read the next month before the next month gets here, or do you just play it by ear and grab something off the shelf? What are your habits? Like how do you go about choosing your books and going about reading them in the month? That's what I'm interested in knowing. Oh yeah, that one doesn't count. It's an autobiography. That's not count. Okay, let me see. Um, in my so reading my book club books each month, and then picking my other books by my mood. Okay, so you get all of so I guess you get your required reading out of the way first, and then you go on your mood to choose the other ones. Okay, that sounds fair. Curly Q said I usually read physical books and then listen to a book, but lately the way work has been, I can't listen to books long. Oh, Patrice said I have a yearly TBR, and depending on my genre mood, I pick from there. I also usually am reading two books at a time, an audio book and then either a physical or an ebook. Okay, that's good because you have like a kind of like a guideline because you're making a giant list, like a giant TR. That's kind of a cool way to do it. And then you're reading two different formats as well. So that's really efficient. Amalilla says no rereads this year. Well, I said that, but I'm gonna be rereading in February. Um, and I'm gonna be rereading later on in the year because I'll be rereading in February because we're reading Invisible Man, and then I'm gonna be rereading James with my book club in Normandy. So that's two rereads. Damn, that's too many rereads. Um, Amalilla says I look at book club books and see if I want to read them. If there's a theme for the month, I may choose one or two. Uh, the random number generator and we'll choose 10. Oh, okay. You use the random number generator. Wow. Okay. That's an interesting way to go about it. Amalilla says I schedule when to read around when book club is. Yeah. Okay. So you try to read your, like, say, for instance, you have the date of your book club. You try to read the book, start reading it 3 days before or 4 days before, something like that. Curtis said, actually, my TBR already set for the year outside of the book club picks each month. And I read about 2 to 3 books at a time. Okay. See, y'all organized in here. People are organized with how they go about this. Um, Kay the reader said, I already finished my first book. I just glide my hands along my bookshelves until I get a tingling feeling, and that's what I read. For audiobooks, I choose by the summary. Okay, that's not really organized, but somewhat organized. You get the tingly feeling when you're rolling your fingers across the books. So I mean, you must get a lot of tingly feelings. Okay, the reader, you crack me up. Mila said, I have questions about biographies. I don't want to hijack Friday reads. I have to DM Raymond. If you have questions, that's why if you have questions on does this count, you should DM him. But remember, no memoirs and no autobiographies. That should make it real clear. If it's not a if it's a memoir and it's an autobiography, no. Nope, 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 nope. Let's see. Raymond said to Kay, not a tingly feeling, laugh out loud. Girl, she's doing the tingling feelings. Tracy said, a seat at the table, the life and times of Shirley Chisholm by Black historians Glenn L. Starks and F. Eric Brooks would be good for Raymond's challenge. Okay, noted. Bertie said, I usually read between 2 and 3 books, and they have to be different genres. Yeah, that's fair enough. I can't read 3 thrillers. They have to be very different. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to stick to the to the road to the read what I own challenge. Yeah, I think a lot of people are doing the what I own challenge. Patrice is laughing. Hey, got spidey senses. Okay, so Bertie said, I only have about 50 bucks pre-ordered for the year, and that's as far as I want to go. I hear you on that. Amalola said, yeah, not reading Queen of Exiles with this random number because I have all books in a spreadsheet. Yes, depending on length of book, I'll start week of book club. Yeah, I see what you're doing. We'll miss you for book club though. Raymond said to Mila, happy to answer any of your questions. Amalila said, Kay the reader, tingling feelings, that's new. Said, I read by vibes. Unless I have curated a list for a theme month like nonfic November. Okay. Kay said, I'm not organized by any means, and if I plan out a schedule of what to read, I feel imprisoned by the voices. Yeah, I totally get that. The only planned books I read are for book club or buddy reads. Yeah, it's pretty much the same for me. Buddy reads, book clubs are my planned reads, and everything else it's whatever I feel like reading. I try not to be too strict on that because my reading and my book club reading takes up a lot of my, like a good portion of my reading, like half of it is that buddy reads, and sometimes it's even more than half. So I totally get it. Let's see. Tracy says to Mila, just remember that the book about the person should be written by someone else. Yeah, it's a biography written by someone else, not an autobiography written by the person, written by someone else. I'm a little said, I get that, Kay, because I'm saying I may go out the window or on a whim. But Amalola, you have a lot of book clubs. How many book clubs are you in, Amalola? Because, girl, you're doing a book club thing, girl. Milo said, I know what counts and doesn't count. My questions are a little deeper than that. Oh, okay. All right, then. Raymond said, I do a random number generator. Oh, you do the random generator number too. But if the book doesn't fit my mood, then I'll run the generator again. Oh, okay. Okay, I like this idea of the random generator. I've never tried to do that, to choose a book by random generators. I usually, what I'll do is if I have two books in mind and I'm not sure which one, I'll just pick one up and I'll read the first paragraph or two of both of them, and that usually gives me like right away. It's like yes, 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 this one, no, that one. Let's see. Kay said, I am currently reading Homemade Love by J. California Cooper. I love Homemade Love. It's so good. Let's see. Tracy said, I miss Amalula. Why aren't you reading Queen of Exiles? Um, Latrice is laughing at Raymond. Amalula said to Raymond, which is why I have a 10 random generator. Amalula says to Tracy, I read it. Let's see. Latrice, are you doing your husband's picks this year? No, I'm not. We'll do it. I'll be back next year. Um, Curtis said to Raymond, "That's too funny." I said, "Okay, yeah, I think I remember you saying that you had read it before." Latrice is laughing at me. No, I'm not. I'm not. You whole year to figure it out. Mm. He really set me up. The thing about my husband is he like if you ask him to do something, he takes that shit serious. So what he'll do is he'll go like I'll say, look, you can choose from this bookshelf. So what he'll do is he'll either look at it and he'll say, he'll read the cover, he might read the cover and he'll say, oh yeah, this sounds really good. But he's not looking about how many pages it is or anything like that. He ain't looking at none of that. Or he might look at it and say, this is a really nice cover, cool title, and then he'll pick that one. Or pick one that he's already read that he knows I haven't read yet, which is fine too. But when he picks them and doesn't even look at how many pages, like last year there was so many books with so many damn pages, I was like, Lord Jesus, I'm never gonna make it through this. No way, no way, no way, no way. Tracy said you can never go wrong with your California Cooper. No, you can't. Yeah, the historian, and it's really horrible because if I would have picked the historian any other moment, I would have been fine to read because I'm wanting to read the historian for a long time. So I'll probably wind up reading historian this year, but probably before the winter is over. Historian is really like it feels like that kind of book you want to read in autumn or winter. So you might see the historian pop up on my feed, maybe in February or March or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. But that's the challenge. Yeah, no, no. I did not ask him to pick out every big ass book. There was historian, 700 pages. There was Moby Dick, another 680, 90 pages, something like that. Then there was the 1619 Project, another long ass book. I mean, I was like, no, it's too long books, it's too many. So, and it was towards the end of the year, they were all popping up, and I was in the process of reading Bleak House while reading everything else I was reading. Like, nah, come on now. No, he on hiatus this year. Oh, y'all see him next year. Nah, nah. Mm-mm. You on hiatus. Um, no, he's not really setting me up for failure. He's just not thinking about that. He's not thinking about like, wait, that's four books and they're all over 600 pages. Because for him, he sees me as some kind of reading machine. He thinks, oh, no problem. She'll be able to read all of that. She reads all those books, all year long. It's like he has high esteem in my reading. It's like, yeah, I don't read that fast. Like I ain't no Latrice. I ain't no Amalola. Okay. I'm just me. I ain't no Latrice. I ain't no Amalola. Um, I should what? I should do one for no, I can't. No, because he will. What my husband does is when he reads when he has time. So because he works a lot, what he does is when he's doing his exercises in the morning, he'll take a book and he'll read pages in between his exercises. And he'll finish tons of books like that. So he read my entire Ian Fleming collection in 1 year, just from reading in between doing exercises in the morning and in the evening. He just reads a few pages here and there, and before you know it, he's finished the book. Um, so he reads. He just doesn't read as much as me, but he reads. Um, it's coming back. Oh, stop it! Stop it! It's coming back next year. Um, let's see. Amala says, "Hi, reading machine. See, Didi outside hasn't seen me since the morning of the 31st." No, but it's true. He thinks, yeah, he thinks I'm kind of reading machine. It's like, nah, I'm not. I'm not. But yeah, but he'll read a lot. He'll read stuff, and like I was surprised he had read that entire Ian. I mean, I kept seeing him with the Ian Fleming books, and I'm like, wait, how many have you read? He goes, oh, the last one. I was like, what? You read all of these? I'm like, okay, So he'll read, he reads stuff, but and he reads all kinds of stuff. But I mean, his favorite stuff is like sci-fi and fantasy, like sci-fi and fantasy. But he'll read other stuff. Read, yeah, like he'll read a random book. Like he reads also. Always picks out my Black American writer books. Read some of those as well. Um, he's even. Oh, I know what he read. That he really liked. It was Shirley Tyson's biography. He read that and he said, "Oh my God, fantastic!" He really liked that one a lot. So yeah, he reads. He just don't read like 50 something books. He'll read like maybe 15 or maybe 20. Um, let's see. Latrice says, I don't plan on going back outside till Sunday. Here, man, it's like 20 degrees outside. A hard pass on cold weather. Yeah, I hate cold weather. It's like you said, I've seen people end of year wrap up that has over 800 books on. Huh? Wow, 800 books. That's crazy to me. Yeah, that is crazy to me because just saying 800 is making my eyeballs roll around in my head. I don't think I could. My brain can't encompass all that. Um, Curly Q said, "Talk about being reading machine." I know, right? Because that's yeah, that's the business right there. Ray said, "Who reading 800 books?" I don't know. I don't know. It ain't me. That's for sure. It ain't me. I can't do that. I'm already boggled by reading 70. Has to be an exaggeration. I would think so. I mean, it could be a legitimate speed reader, though. I mean, if you speed read, you could read 800 if you speed read really well. I don't speed read well, though. So I'm a terrible speed reader. Um, let's see. Croaky said, I ain't saying I believe them, but I ain't judging. That's more than two a day. Ooh. Raymond said, I feel like I've only read 800 in my lifetime. Probably more than 800 in your lifetime. Amalola said, I saw 365 and blacked out. Shirley Q said the exact number was 853. Oh no, Amalola said, I saw 365 balked. Yeah, I mean, even 365 is a lot. Tracy said, listen, shaking my head. Y'all are cracking me up. Yeah, I don't know. Raymond said to Curly Q, who was this? Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could read that many books. That would be fantastic. That would be one hell of a superpower to have where you could read like 800 books in a year and you remember all of the details and all of the names and everything. But you could read, like say for instance, you could read 800, but you could never read more than 800 in 1 year. You can only read up to 800 in 1 year, but you can remember everything you read, all the, the characters, everything that happens, you have no problem remembering, but you can only read 800 in a year. That would be fantastic. I would love that superpower. Um, Curly Q said, someone in one of my Facebook groups, Raymond, wait, I don't know them personally. Okay. I'm gonna listen to Curly Q. Who is this person? Because I have a friend who screams at my 100 plus. Let's send that to him. I mean, 100 plus is possible, but 800, that's a lot of books. Um, Tracy says to Curly Q, what? Curly Q said, I do know someone personally who read 233 of them. And I'm like, girl, can you talk intelligently about what you read? Um, Raymond said to Curly Q, okay, we need to step to the front of the class and explain themselves. So I said, I just want to enjoy what I do read. Curly Q said, I agree about wanting to enjoy them. I don't read for the sake of the. Kay said, one of our librarians reads about 800 across genres. Well, good for her. She got speed reader. I can't speed read. I flunked speed reading in school. I was not a good speed reader. I think there was a moment where in middle school they were trying to teach us to speed read. I was terrible at it. Terrible. Raymond said to Kay the reader, my goodness. Yeah, I was terrible at speed reading. I was not good at it. So I mean, everybody got to do what they got to do. They got to do what they got to do. Um, you know when somebody's read something, you know when somebody hasn't read something. So when you hear somebody talk about a book and they're doing like a book review or something like that, you can tell if they've read. You can tell if they've understood what they're reading. That kind of you kind of So choose wisely. You're trying to make your you know read your reviews or watch your reviews or whatever. I mean, I was thinking this year, I was thinking, do I do book reviews this year on my channel or do I just write them on my blog? I don't know. I might write them on my blog. People speed read so they can read more books. Wait, I'll skip one. Kay said, in fairness, I believe most of hers were children's or middle grade. I'll report back. Okay, well that makes sense, but still, it's still speed reading to a certain extent. Oh, Curly is cackling at Raymond. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, speed reading is a thing. Some people do that and they're comfortable with that. Um, but I don't have a problem with it. I mean, it's not as long as they don't want me to speed read because, like I said, I'm terrible. Oh, you can't ask me a damn thing about a book after I've done a speed reading section. I don't remember who did what. I don't remember what's happening. I don't remember nothing. So I stay away from speed read. I just read normal, my normal speed, and that's how it's gonna be because that's all I know how to do. So yeah. Anyway, so that's it. I'm going to sign off now. Um, this has been fun. Our first series back, and it looks like everybody's got some good books on deck. And I'm about to go look for some more good biographies because now you got me thinking, Raymond. Do I have 10 biographies? Do I even have 5 biographies that I can pick out? I think I might have at least 5. Anyway, I might, look and see what I got and see what I can add to my list of books to read this year. So it may not be 5, it may be 2 or 1, but it'll be something. I'll try to read some biographies because we do need to read more biographies. So kudos to you, Raymond, for coming up with that challenge. I think that's going to be great. Now I got to add a page in my reading journal for that. I'm gonna try though. I'm gonna try. Hey, BookTube Mama, Happy New Year. How are you? We're just about to get off. Unfortunately, we've been on for a minute, but I will see you guys next Friday as usual. And have a good Friday and a wonderful weekend. Great reading. Bye bye.